So welcome to another sketchbook tour. This one's going to be a bit different because I'm actually going to try recording this one live as I go through the art. So I guess we'll see how great this... Yeah, there's my cat playing in the background. Thanks, Rigby. Thanks. So yeah, I guess we'll see how great the microphone on my camera is and whether I should probably just do this as a voiceover instead. Well, voiceover it is. This is a tour of super old art from the year 2004. Some of it might be 2003. It's kind of hard to keep track since 17/18-year-old Ley wasn't dating things. This first art is a self-portrait, except I sadly never owned that shirt or jeans. But I did wear a heck of a lot of jelly bracelets, studded things, and fishnet sleeves. Next is my furry character named Negative Space, who is an albino jackal inspired heavily by the Egyptian god Anubis. I'm not sure what the black goop is, but I still really like it, and I really like this piece in general. Here's a random sketch of a girl that I never finished but spent way too much time on the face of. That was always my issue. I would spend eons on the face getting it perfect, and then I just wouldn't follow through. I would just completely abandon the art. These are characters from Karma Slave, which was a webcomic created by Lynn Strain, who was one of my absolute favorite online writers. I remember working on this one in my school's guidance office, which probably gives you an idea of what kind of teenager I was. This Bryn character shows up a few times, and I wrote a short story about her for my Canadian Lit class, where she's on a road trip with some guy, and at the end it turns out she was kidnapped by him, and essentially has Stockholm Syndrome. Such a unique concept, I know. This is fan art of my friend Kieran, who I previously drew fan art of Arwen for a few sketchbook tours back. I still really love this one, even though I overused the white gel pen like crazy. Now we're getting into some more gothy emo girl sketches. This one kind of reminds me of Bayonetta in her rebellious teen witch phase. I assume I drew a face on this girl and then I erased it, since I never got this far without starting with a face. No idea. That's some mighty wonky anatomy though. I really drew a ton of people standing wearing crazy baggy flared jeans, didn't I? Talk about a weird art rut. Here we have a random head that was never finished, followed by a random torso that was never finished, followed by yet another girl standing in crazy jeans that was never finished. The anatomy is super wonky on this one, so maybe that's why Baby Ley was telling herself to redraw it. Finally, something different. The Fifth Element is one of my favorite movies, and the diva scene is probably my favorite from the whole movie. Lilu kicking ass while some intense opera happens. It's pretty great. Here is Bryn again, doing something vaguely different from just standing. I actually really like this one too, even though there's a lot of weirdness about the anatomy, and the pose is still coming across as pretty stiff. Oh hey, I drew a dude! This fellow was in a past sketchbook and intended to be in a webcomic that I never followed through on. That is my big goal, one day, to start and run a webcomic successfully. So from here on, my art starts getting kind of sexy. I don't really know what started this particular shift in my art style. This is some kind of sexy schoolgirl Slytherin character, which is my house by the way, but not a very good way to show house pride. I don't want to consider how much marker went into this piece. I also apparently discovered some kind of neon orange gel pen to take the place of my over-excessive white gel pen use. This mermaid isn't bad, but she's not fantastic. I censored this demon lady with gold washi tape because I'm trying to keep my channel family friendly. I don't know why I drew a naked demon, but she is kind of cool, and I love the bisexual pride colors in her fluffy tail. So if it's two things I love, that's the Japanese horror film Ringu and its English remake, The Ring, and also fairies. I guess I was going for some kind of hybrid between the two. I kind of like how this looks. It sort of looks like watercolor, but it is just marker. This is my fursona, who I think is supposed to be a fox or something similar. She's kind of cute, and I love the subdued colors. Sadly, I've never owned pastel green pants, but maybe one day. Trip is a character I've drawn several times in the past, and this is sort of the definitive version of the Trip that I picture in my head. Bright colors, dyed hair, and a lot of crazy nonsense going on with her wardrobe. The return of expiry date. It seems I didn't draw her as much this year as the last, but she's still one of my favorite furry characters, even if she doesn't really look like a kangaroo most of the time. And she's no longer pink. Here's my fursona again, who I think was named Gabriel based on my scribblings, with a character from a roleplay I used to be in. This is sorta cute and has more of the text around the character thing that I did back in 2002 or 2003. Jirin is another returning character, my Farscape fan character. Apparently I want to make her even more scandalous than the other art of her, which, to be honest, still doesn't look out of place in the later seasons of Farscape. I wrote absolutely nothing on this sketch, so I have no idea who or what it's supposed to be. It's definitely Lord of the Rings related, so it might be more gift art for Kieran, or it could be my own LOTR fan character. Hard to say. Emily, also known as Mayday, was a pirate character I created for a Final Fantasy roleplay around this time. I think I scanned and digitally colored this one, so if I remember to find that version, I'll pop it in the corner for you to see. I think this character was named Kiwi, or was inspired by Kiwi, or something related to Kiwi in some way. It was sort of a character design challenge that I did on DeviantArt. I still really like this, even though it's, like so much of my art from this time period, kind of wonky. Another sketch of Trip. I really love this, even though, yes, yet again, the anatomy is super off. She likes to hold on to her dreads a lot, apparently. This is another coupley, romancy picture of the two characters from the roleplay from earlier, but no longer as furries. Apparently I shipped them hard. This is kinda rough, and I apologize for the smoking imagery. I do kinda like the way the gel pen almost looks like chalk on the black Sharpie background though. And lastly, another censored picture of some kinda strange fairy creature with some Tori Amos lyrics. This is probably my first semi-successful watercolor attempt, and I kinda like the concept. It would be fun to update and redraw this one. So that's it for the art I could find from the year 2004. I hope you enjoyed this tour of super old art, and if you have any suggestions for art I should redraw, please leave it below in the comments or check out my social medias linked in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you haven't and click the like thumb icon thing. It helps a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday for another video. Bye!